You're watching Fighting for What's Right with personal injury attorney Barry Doyle. So Barry, once someone gets a bed sore, what happens?
The development of a bed sore is something that represents a significant change in condition. In the nursing home industry, a significant change in condition is something that requires physician notification and it requires revision of the care plan. When the doctor is notified, the doctor is going to be giving orders for care for the wound. The care plan needs to be revised to reflect that all this additional care needs to be provided for the bed sore that exists, but also needs to reflect the fact that the care plan that was in place to address the risk of developing a bed sore wasn't effective in preventing the bed sore from actually developing. So that there has to be a whole series of changes that are put into place.
And are there medical consequences to developing a bed sore?
There are all sorts of consequences to the development of bed sores. Probably the biggest one of these is increased susceptibility to developing infection. One of the functions that the skin serves is that it is a barrier for the entry of infecting organisms. And when you have a bed sore, you have a breach in your skin integrity, and that becomes an access point by which infecting organisms can go ahead and enter your body. And frequently what you'll see after a bed sore has occurred is that somebody's going to develop a cellulitis infection, which is sort of a localized skin infection. But those infections can go much deeper. When somebody has a stage 4 bed sore, it's real common for somebody to develop an infection called osteomyelitis. And basically what osteomyelitis is it's a bone infection where the infection is set into the bone itself, and the bacteria are essentially eating away at living bone. One of the things that sometimes happens to try and treat bed sores is that a catheter will be put in so that urine is diverted into a bag away from the area that the bed sore is. You know, this is done where you have a bed sore on the buttocks or on the hips or on the tailbone. And the problem with having a catheter put in is that it opens up the urinary tract and it leaves people susceptible to developing a urinary tract infection. It doesn't matter what kind of infection you get. Ultimately, these are infections that need to be treated with antibiotics. Some of these are going to be more potent antibiotics than others, but some of the antibiotics that are used to treat some of the relatively low-grade infections have an unfortunate side effect that's known as C. diff. In your stomach, there are all kinds of bacteria, and they assist with the digestion of food. And an antibiotic kills off bacteria within your body, and the giving of an antibiotic can have the effect of killing off some of those bacteria that are in your stomach and cause all kinds of problems in terms of your digestive tract. And basically what C. diff is it's associated with loose, watery stool, which soil the dressings and expose the already existing wounds to further contamination. So many times you'll see sometimes multiple surgeries be done to address the issues with bed sores. You'll have wound debridements, which is basically cutting away of dead tissue within the wounds themselves, but other times you'll see people have a colostomy in an effort to divert stool away from the pelvic area. Sometimes you'll have people get a G-tube inserted to help with the nutritional issues that are involved. All of these surgeries expose people to the risks that are associated with anesthesia, and it really contributes to this horrible downward spiral that people tend to experience after getting significant bed sores.
So Barry, do people die as a result of bed sores?
All too often, yes. Nursing homes often defend these claims by trying to say that the development of the bed sore was part of the dying process and that somebody died with the bed sore and not because of the bed sore. And the fact of the matter is that the most common scenario that I see in these kinds of cases is that somebody dies as a result of sepsis. They have an infection that's just completely out of control and overwhelms them, whether it's an infection that's brought on by osteomyelitis or C. diff or urinary tract infection or any number of other types of infections that people get. Most often I see the infection as being something that's the immediate cause of death, and it's very closely associated with the development of the bed sore. Any which way you slice it, you need to get legal help when this kind of situation develops, and you need help from somebody who has a good handle on some of the medical issues that are involved with these kinds of cases.
It's good information. You're watching Fighting for What's Right with personal injury attorney Barry Doyle. Please visit our website at fightingforwhat'sright.com.